I have to make sure the other stream is closed. Welcome. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I'm sorry about that. I actually had to go over to another stream. And then the guy that mows actually showed up like 2 minutes ago, and he's already started. So if it gets too loud, let me know. I'll have to text him, but he should be done in just another second. And he's behind the house, actually. So I hope everyone is doing great on Friday. I had a pretty good day. I didn't have too much to get done. I had my hair retwisted in order to be for spring break, which is going to start next Saturday. We don't actually leave until Sunday. So we're going to fly to LA Saturday, and then our ship sails on Sunday. So to be safe, we like to get there a day early. We usually do day of. I'm going to let him pass. We do day of, but this time the ship is leaving at 4. And usually in LA, it's a little later when they leave. It's usually 5:30. But it is Easter weekend, so we don't want to risk flying out there. Hello, Sassy T from the 803. How are you today? Thank you for stopping in. I had another stream going that I had to stop. So what I'm going to do, I think Mama B's might be over in that one. I'm going to go and let anybody over there know that I'm actually over here. I don't know what happened with that. I do apologize for that. Hey, Trush 612, thank you so much for coming in. Mama B's, you found me. Thank you so much. I apologize for that. I had to start another screen, so I have to go over there and do the whole thumbnail and everything. I hope everybody's doing okay. It's been a beautiful day today. It's hot here now. It's like 82 or something. I didn't turn the air on in the house yet, but I think I'm going to have to. Because I guess it's time. It's what, mid-April? So I guess it's time. Well, that's not even mid-April. Today's April 4th. So I hope everybody's doing pretty good. Thank you for joining me on Sandra P's Gen Extra. This is a Friday afternoon live. And I just have a couple of topics to go over. I'm going to do some fun topics. And then I also have some political topics as well. And then I wanted to follow up. I was talking to everybody about not a dilemma, but just kind of uncertainty, what I was going through with my business. Everyone that I talk to knows that I had taken Melody's course. I started my property preservation last January, and I have my tax ID number, my business name. I'm licensed in the state of North Carolina. I did have a few jobs. Let me get out from behind me. I don't know why he started right at 3, because it wasn't as warm earlier. I apologize, everybody. But anyway, I was having problems now because we do receive work, but if the work is outside of my city, I'm in a blue city in a red state. I'm in Charlotte. So if the work is an hour or so from me, I have run into areas that I'm not comfortable working in, and neither is the people that I have on my team. Then we had an incident where a house was supposed to be unoccupied and the house was occupied. Then I had an incident where I was on a job alone to just do a quick outside inspection and do pictures. And it ended up being on a private drive with a certain campaign sign, I'll say. And I just was not comfortable. So there's been a few incidents like that. But it's time to file taxes as well. And it's also in North Carolina, we have to continue the business license if you want to do that. And that's a fee. So what I decided to do was dissolve that business. I'm working on my channel. I'm doing some other things. So property preservation is something I'm going to dissolve that business. And I just submit that information to the state that it's dissolved, and then just file a final tax return. So that kind of takes a weight off my shoulder. As far as I was like maybe 70 to 80% sure that that's what I wanted to do anyway. And then I had lunch a few weeks ago with a friend who asked me if I wanted a partner. He's winding up on our job. We both work for the airline, and we could both be winding up actually, but I'll probably give it a few more years. So I made that decision. I just wanted to follow up with the people that were listening to me while I was thinking out loud and talking out loud. Thanks everyone that's coming in and joining me. This is just a Friday afternoon, quick, hot topic, just some topics that I had written down and some news that I saw that I was talking about. Hello, Sharon Gabo. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate you finding it this Friday afternoon. Thank you so much. So we're finished with the follow-up. Okay, there's the text from the guy telling me he's done. I appreciate that. I don't have to call him or chase him. He just shows up, which is good. But sometimes if I'm getting ready to do something, it's not as good. Okay, so let's see. I have my first topic.
Has a way.
This is a lady that some people miss.
Yeah.
I do.
When one person has fear, it has a way of spreading to those around them and spreading. And we are witnessing that, no doubt. But I say this also, my dear friends, courage is also contagious.
That's good enough. That's the part I wanted us to hear. Fear is contagious, but courage is also contagious. I think a lot of the things that are going on now in the news is to get people kind of off balance and upset. The way they came in so fast with job cuts and all of this sort of thing, they just want people to either bow down or get so frightened that they don't know what to do. And I think fear is contagious, but courage is contagious. And I appreciate Kamala Harris, our former vice president, speaking life into us and telling us that. I do appreciate that. Courage is contagious. So that's good for everybody to know. Hello, Linda Gamble. Welcome to the chat. One of my moderators. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. So we have Mama B's, Trust 612, and Linda Gamble in here moderating. I appreciate that. And people under the comments are saying things like, what could have been? You know, there's no need to look back. I do. I wish that had happened, but I think enough people didn't take it seriously and didn't think that people, even though they saw what a disaster the Orange Clown was the first time and how many people he hurt. And during C-19, I remember that starting, and on my job, we got a letter that told you, you're safe to be on the street, because at that time, during the lockdown, it wasn't even safe to be out because we didn't know everything that was going on. And over 1 million people lost their lives. And I know people that are also living with long COVID. They're living with it. And it has made a change to their life, for their life. And then to watch these people act like none of that even happened and even lie on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it's amazing. So she's out there trying to speak life into the country. I'm happy to see her, and I'm happy that she only pokes her head up when she wants to. She was getting some kind of award. This is making noise. She was getting some kind of award, and that's why she was out there. But I'm glad to see her. She's looking well. She's doing well. And I appreciate seeing Kamala Harris out there. Courage is contagious. So we will remember that on this Friday. Next, we have another young lady that I love a lot. And this is, I don't have a video for her. That's okay. I'll just read about her. Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett out of Texas. She's given a news alert from her seat on the Judiciary Committee. We know she turned them every which way but loose. They get really upset. She let us know that she is being threatened by the Attorney General, the acting Attorney General, I'll call her, because she's a disaster. The lady from Florida, Pam Bondi. So the Orange Clown put her in there. They're mad at her because she's been calling out the unelected South African for pretending that he is above the law. So they're on her case again. So we always keep Representative Crockett in our thoughts, in our prayers, and encourage her as much as we can. And I'm glad she does speak as loudly and as much as she does. I think it's important to make yourself front and center, especially when people think they're going to threaten you. Okay, now this young lady, we make her an honorary Gen X member, but she's still a young lady to me. This is Brandy. When I saw this story, I was so shocked by this. I'm going to show the picture first. This young lady is Brandy's 22-year-old daughter. Who knew that this baby was 22 years old already? But she graduated summa cum laude. Look at Brandy. Brandy looked like that could be her sister. She looked like she went to school doing like a Nikki Parker with her daughter. But she's graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Entertainment. So that's amazing. Because we know Brandy's mother, Sonia Norwood, is a powerhouse in the industry. And Ray J has a business mind. I hear they're not in touch right now. They've gone through some things, Brandy and Ray J. We know how close they used to be. So I hope that they can get back together if that's something that's mentally healthy for both of them. Because even though sometimes someone is family, you might have to cut them off until they can get themselves together, whatever's going on with that. But that story made me smile to see Brandy. I want to be down Brandy that we met at 12 or 13, maybe 14, with a 22-year-old daughter, and the girl's already out of college. So time goes by so fast, it flies. So congratulations to Brandy and to her daughter. And here's another really cute story I saw on Threads. Okay, we know in Washington, they have the cherry blossom blooms. Everyone goes to see those. I haven't been this year. I might try to go after spring break. because I might try to do something with the kids. Like to do day trips and things like that. But I'm going to show you that. Now, the picture that the mother took is the mother, and she had a photographer with her. Look at those two little kids. She said she was watching him because he acted like he wanted to take off running, okay? And then she took like a bunch, you start taking a bunch of pictures at once. Look who ends up photobombing. So he's in D.C. just hanging out. And the little kids are oblivious. They don't see it at all. There's security. He travels with security. I heard the orange clown wanted to take his security. He's such a nut. The stuff he talks about, when he starts talking about stuff, I don't even know why they treat it like it's seriously. Certain things he shouldn't be able to put that serial killer signature on and get things done. But that he is there with his security. That's forever president in my mind. Barack Obama and those two gorgeous little kids, they were locals. The mother's account is Portia, which is real cute. So she's in DC. And then President Obama wrote them when she posted that. She said, Preston and Belle, I hope you enjoyed the blossoms bloom. My bad for stepping into the shot. So that's not really a my bad. Those kids will cherish that for the rest of their life. When they find out like what was going on and who was there. That's why I always like President Obama and Michelle Obama too. Because they feel like if you were to run into them, that I don't know that you could get close enough to speak, but it seemed like they would be cool people. Okay, this is actually a sad story. That was a good news story. We're glad to see President Obama still walking around, still looking good. But this is a terrible story. This is from the BBC. The body of the fourth missing U.S. soldier has been found in Lithuania. So out of that 4 that were on that mission, all of them have been found and retrieved, but no one was alive. So that's really terrible to hear that. We're sorry about that and hearing that. And the orange clown has not said anything. When they first asked him about it, he didn't know anything about it. I find that really trifling and just small-minded and ignorant. But to my mind, I don't see where he really likes veterans or the people that even serve. And I think their support for him is because they played that station, the Faux News Network. They play them 24/7 on the bases. Allegedly, that's what I've heard, that they play that a lot. And so their support for him is more than his support for them. He doesn't seem to care about them. He's actually golfing now. He's heading up a golf tournament that is being at his Doral, one of his own properties in Florida. He flew Air Force One down, so that costs a lot of money, even though he's claiming he's saving us money. Flew Air Force One down to that, and then he is hosting the Saudis, Saudi Arabia, which is not a democracy at all. But he wants to live like that. He wants people to treat him as a king. And now with this prices, he's kicking the bottom out of the stock market on purpose. So my 401k, a lot of people 401k, you get to watch it go down daily unless you decide to do something about it. But then you don't want to sell at a low. It's hard to know what to do when that's happening. So I'll keep trying to be courageous as Kamala Harris advised us, but it is hard. This is a hard time. I'm glad we have our spring break coming up. So I do work this weekend, and then I'll have a couple of days off Monday and Tuesday, and then I'll try to work as much as possible. And again, as I said, we'll fly out Saturday to LA, and we'll be at sea for 6 days. We set sail on Sunday. So the spring break plans, I know the rest of the ladies, there are a contingent of the 3 on the panel that I'm with on Wednesday night and Sunday night. They are going to be, I guess they've announced it. I'm not sure. I'll let one of them announce it. But if you're in their memberships, you have the opportunity to travel with them. I had a pre-planned cruise already. So unfortunately, I will not be there with them. But Sassy's one of the ladies going with her tea house, the tea sippers with Drop the Tea, and then Tea Talk with Your Girl and her tea family will be down there as well. So that's going to be a great vacation for them. We're going to stream while they're there. So I have to upgrade and get the service that allows me to do that while I'm on the ship. And I see a lot of people that actually are cruising and they're still able to be on board and sharing things. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go live from the cruise. I'm going to take a lot of pictures. I'm going to make sure that I share my vacation and experience as much as possible with everyone, all of my subscribers. We don't really have a name. I like Gen Extras, because I do give you extra. That used to be when we were little and the boys had paper routes. When they would call their routes, it was extra, read all about it. So I think of extra extras like that. So I don't know. I don't see myself having members, but you can actually have a Patreon and not charge anything. And that I more than likely would do something like that. Just so if I had additional information that I didn't want on general YouTube or out there among everybody, I could talk about it amongst a group that comes back more often and that I feel like I know. Okay, and then actually today's April 4th. Tomorrow is April 5th. It is a million. They don't really have a name. Million Mayo March. Million Mayo March. It is not for us. This Million Mayo March is not for us. 92%. 80% now. The black men are saying they're 80% because they had them right at 78%. But I guess they rounded up. I don't know. But they want to say 80. I'll give them 80. I know the majority of them voted correctly the way that we did. So we are not going to be out there. Our cocoa butter, shea butter selves will not be out there. They're going to do it. So all of this, police departments they've been getting all of this equipment, leftover army equipment, leftover military type equipment. They are itching to use it, I think. And the protests don't look the way they want them to look yet. And so we're still trying to be enticed. I don't see us going out there and being enticed. I have no need. I don't need anything out there. So I will not be leaving the house tomorrow other than for a few hours in the morning, but it certainly won't be to march anywhere. Anything I need, I'll have delivered, and I won't go out there. I'm going to read some comments. Linda Gamble, that is your state rep? Yeah, Texas. Representative Jasmine Crockett. We love her. We really do. And she speaks for everybody. I wish more people would stand with her and be more vocal in the House. I just feel like they haven't been. I love what Cory Booker did the other day, from the Senate. But we need more than just Representative Crockett. They always call out AOC out of New York. She's another one. She speaks a lot, and she makes herself known. And then in the Senate, Cory Booker. I can't really think of big names that get out there and are willing to risk themselves. But she said, yeah, they were threatening her. The Attorney General. An Attorney General is the lead law enforcement in the country. She's supposed to be the attorney for the country, not just for the orange clown. But she looks like she's always only advocating for him. And he's the only felon up there. He's the one with felony charges, not us. So I don't know why she's picking at Jasmine. Yeah, that picture was so cute, wasn't it? Yeah, Mama B says, I love the cherry blossoms. I live in the DMV. Yeah, Mama B, they are gorgeous. I'm going to try to go up there. I actually want to go. My nieces took a trip to the African-American Smithsonian. He's picking at them, y'all. Even though most of that money was privately raised, they do have a federal part that is the budget. But we remember when Oprah and Tyler Perry and churches and everybody was gathering together objects and clothing and all kind of stuff to go in there. And then they do have some federal funding, but he's threatening to pull funding for that. So I want to get there before summer, sometime in the summer, maybe before it gets too orange clownified, because those people feel real comfortable there now. I don't want to be around them. I mean, regular DC in that area, like you see those beautiful little kids in that President Obama shot. That is so gorgeous. So that's still a part of DC, but as those other people move in and get more comfortable, I don't know how welcome I will feel there or that I'd even want to go there. But that's gorgeous. That's near the tidal basin. And those kids could care less about Obama. That's why I love little black kids. They don't care who you are. Sharon Gabo says, Sandra P., I'm definitely not going to be out there. Me either. I'm not going to be out there either. Trust 612 says they say they're the both coolest down to earth people. They do. I couldn't find it. They had one. They were on there. They usually take that their winter break. They end up in Hawaii, and they had one. These people were on a paddleboard, and they were like, we were just paddleboarding, and we saw this nice couple roll by, and it was Michelle and Barack Obama. She was on the front, and he was in the back. They were just paddling, and the people didn't stop them or bother them or anything. They just took a picture. I try not to. When I see famous people in public, I'm still a New Yorker at heart, and we live and let live. Because somebody had a picture the other day of Harrison Ford waiting on the subway platform, and they filmed him a little too long. They got the camera in a little close, and they were right there. And the people on the captions were like, hello, he's got somewhere to be. You don't have to film him up close like that. So the Obama, I think I would fan out over Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. I would love a hug from either one of them or both of them. Yes, I seen that too. They were chilling. They be chilling. They do. I love when they get out there and chill. I love seeing when they spot the girls out. Now, people they back up a little bit, I guess because they're the daughters, they give them a a lot more of their privacy. Sasha and Malia, I always loved them too because they were so little when they came in. I remember that night they won, and those little girls up on the stage with their little blown out hair and stuff, they just look like Easter Sunday. And they had a special place in my heart since then. So this is a quick little 3 p.m. live. We're right at 20 minutes. I want to thank everybody that has stopped in. Like the video. If you're not already a subscriber, please become a subscriber, and I would appreciate that. And I am 23 something away from my goal. YouTube has changed the goals now. So at 500, you can become monetized, but it's something different that they do with it. I'm not sure. But then, of course, that big goal is 1,000. So we're halfway there. But I want to see what happens when I get to my 500 goal. So I actually know I have more than 100 uploads. So that is an accomplishment because I would always try to come up with something, come up with topics. But I'm able to readily find things to talk about now and engage with my subscribers, which I love. But I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your Friday. And I will be back online. I'm going to schedule something tomorrow just to do some quick topics, restful topics, good news. I don't want to have anything too stressful for tomorrow because we're all supposed to be resting as the 92%, resting in our femininity and Black girl magic. And I love everybody that shows up. I appreciate you all so much. And enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you. Bye.